Amasra's narrow peninsula cradles one of the Black Sea's rare twin harbors, where granite headlands and centuries-old pines create a naturally sheltered bay found in few places on Earth. Do you know Amasra's tiny islets once acted as living breakwaters, so effective that Roman and Genoese ships moored safely within sight of fish markets that still sell the same smoked anchovies today? Walk its steep cobbled alleys, and you'll find Ottoman wooden houses perched above the water, their carved balconies gazing down on fishermen repairing nets as they have for generations. Behind them, remnants of a Byzantine castle and a Venetian fortress braid history into the coastline, each stone telling of embers that prized this natural harbor. Less known is Amasra's geological secret. Waves have polished the peninsula's black basalt into rare coastal mirrors that trap sunlight and reveal fossils when the tide retreats. Those tidal pools host marine life, unusually resilient to cold Black Sea currents, giving local cooks an ingredient list unique to this cove. From the harbor, the scene sweeps to the old bazaar where brass lamps and amber beads mingle with stalls, selling cured anchovies called hamsi, a taste you won't find in land. Follow the sound of a distant bell, and you arrive at a tiny museum guarding amphora fragments and maps that hint at Amasra's forgotten trade routes, connecting Anatolia to the Balkans. A footpath climbs from town to pine-scented cliffs, where panoramic views fold into the horizon, linking Amasra's human story to the wider rhythms of the Black Sea. From those cliffs, you can almost trace how coastal villages, lighthouses, and hidden coves form a chain of refuge and commerce, stretching toward the Turkish mainland. It is a place where geology, seafaring craft, and culinary tradition intersect, so every discovery opens the path to another. Cappadocia's lunar valleys host one of the densest concentrations of fairy chimneys on Earth, with towering volcanic tuff formations sculpted over millennia. Do you know that beneath those spires lie labyrinthine underground cities like Derinkuyu that sheltered entire communities for months at a time? Morning skies here explode with hundreds of balloons that drift like slow-moving planets over valleys cut into honeycombed rock. That surreal skyline is mirrored by the silent interiors of rock-cut homes and cave churches carved into soft stone. In Göreme, open-air museum frescoes survive from the 10th century, pigments preserved by the cool, dry caves. These vivid paintings tell stories of saints and traders, connecting Byzantine faith with nomadic Anatolian life. Wander a trail from Love Valley to Rose Valley, and you move through layers of geological time, each ridge a page in the region's volcanic history. Local potters in Avanos still use clay from the Kızılırmak River, linking present crafts to the land that formed those chimneys. When threats came from above, communities retreated into subterranean complexes with stables, wineries, schools, and ventilation shafts that read like an ancient apartment block. Derinkuyu and Kaymaklu are linked conceptually, showing how the landscape shaped both refuge and daily life. A single rock face can hold homes stacked like honeycomb, where generations carved niches to sleep, pray, and store grain. Walking those narrow tunnels, you feel a strange intimacy between human ingenuity and geological forces. Cappadocia's vineyards cling to terraces cut into pumice and ash, producing wines that carry mineral notes from the volcanic soil. Even cuisine here is earthy and preserved, with slow-cooked pottery stews sealed and baked underground, a culinary echo of the cave dwellers. Today, boutique cave hotels have transformed ancient dwellings into luminous rooms that preserve the textures of history. Yet when you step into a dawn balloon ride, the present dissolves, and you see how natural sculpture and human settlement have always been inseparable. This region maps geological drama onto human storylines, where every chimney, cave, church, and hidden corridor holds a secret waiting to be read. Follow the trail from open valleys to silent underground streets, and you begin to understand why Cappadocia feels like a city written in stone. If you listen closely, those echoes will pull you deeper into Cappadocia's layered mysteries. Stay with us, and we'll trace the path from volcanic eruption to human refuge, revealing the uncanny ways rock and culture shaped one another. By the end, Cappadocia won't feel like a destination. It'll feel like a secret you've been entrusted with. High in Turkey's Kaçkar foothills, Uzungöl is an unusual landslide-dammed lake at 1,090 meters, where clouds often settle into the valley like a second sea. Do you know Uzungöl formed when a massive slope collapsed and trapped a mountain stream, creating a mirror lake ringed by steep, forested walls? Stilted wooden houses and narrow boardwalks hug the water because locals learn to live with shifting soils and seasonal surges. Morning fog moves through the valley in visible waves, revealing fishermen, tea smoke, and stone bridges that seem to appear and vanish. The valley's microclimate supports mosses, orchids, and beech groves rare in much of Anatolia, giving Uzungöl a pocket of almost temperate rainforest life. Follow the shepherd trails, and they thread up to alpine meadows, linking the lake to higher pastures where goats and flocks graze ancient roots. Those meadows slope down toward the Black Sea, so within hours the landscape shifts from misty mountains to coastal cliffs and tea terraces. Hidden waterfalls, tiny hamlets, and centuries-old paths keep a living map of culture and geology that tourists only glimpse at first sight. Winter seals the valley in snow and preserves folk songs, crafts, and seasonal foodways that summer visitors rarely see in full. In summer, the lake teems with tourists. Children launch wooden boats, and villagers open modest guest houses where stories and simple meals anchor the place. Modern tourism has added tea gardens and walkways, yet the deepest memory of Uzungöl is found in small rituals: kettles, repaired nets, and dawn mist. If you keep walking from the shore, the landscape unwinds. Beech forests give way to rocky ridges that in turn point you toward coastal views. Uzungöl acts as a living hinge between mountain life and the Black Sea, a rare corridor where geology, climate, and culture meet in one day's journey. To understand the place is to follow those connections, each trail, stream, and ridge a sentence in the valley's long unfolding story. Lake Van is one of the world's largest soda lakes, its alkaline waters so high in pH that white soda crusts rim entire bays, and only specially adapted organisms can survive in the deep saline soup. Do you know Lake Van hosts the pearl mullet, an endemic fish that defies expectations by migrating from this highly alkaline basin into cold mountain streams each spring to spawn? Akdamar Island rises like a carved gem from the surface, crowned by the 10th century Armenian Cathedral of the Holy Cross, whose stone reliefs tell stories older than most modern maps. From the cathedral's shadow, the ancient ramparts of Van Castle loom, an Urartian stronghold that anchors human history to the lake's shifting shoreline and links ruins to living villages. On certain mornings, Lake Van flashes turquoise and pearlescent green, while on others it becomes a dark, mirror-like plain that seems to hold the ski captive, an optical mood that changes with wind and season. Because the lake has no outlet, minerals concentrate here over millennia, creating chemical conditions that have forced plants, fish, and people to adapt in ways you will not find elsewhere. In winter, thin, crazed sheets of ice wash against volcanic rocks, and fishermen still consult patterns in the waves as if reading ancient runes. Hot springs and salt pans around the basin thread the water to the high plateaus of eastern Anatolia, where monasteries, nomadic camps, and Ottoman-era towns form a patchwork of human life shaped by the lake. Travelers who come for Akdamar's carved saints often stay for the commotion of the Pearl Mullet Run and the improbable local lore about van cats with mismatched eyes. Beneath those stories, lakebed sediments preserve an archive of climate swings and ancient migrations that scientists are only beginning to read, linking natural history to human destiny. Standing on the shore, the chemistry of the water, the weight of ruined walls, and the migratory pulse of fish converge into a single, stubborn landscape of endurance. Follow the shoreline from Akdamar to Van Castle, and you'll find each site leading to the next, a chain of discoveries that reveals how geology, culture, and myth have been braided together along the edges of Lake Van. Salda Lake holds some of the purest, whitest mineral sands on the planet. Its shores so bright, they have been compared to the moon. Do you know Salda's shoreline is carpeted in hydromagnesite, a carbonate mineral that forms in only a handful of lakes worldwide and creates powdery, snow-like beaches? The water here runs a surreal spectrum, from emerald to deep cerulean. So clear, you can see the lakebed disappear into blue, like an optical illusion. Locals and scientists alike guard a quiet secret. Microbial mats and unique chemistry in the lake help preserve its clarity and the rare minerals in the sand. People trek from nearby Denizli and the Mediterranean coast not just for swimming, but to walk along shorelines that feel sculpted out of marble dust. Geologists study Salda as a modern analog for ancient environments because its sediments resemble deposits found on Mars and on early Earth. A brisk walk around the lake edges reveals hidden coves, shallow lagoons, and windswept dunes that shift with every season. Conservation efforts now balance tourism with protection, routing trails and limiting access to the most fragile white sands. In spring, wildflowers carpet the dunes, creating an improbable contrast against that blinding white and the deep blue water. Visitors who come after sunrise talk about how the light seems to pour differently over Salda, revealing turquoise hues not visible at noon. Many travelers pair a stop at Salda with Pamukkale's terraces or the thermal springs of Denizli, creating a circuit of mineral wonders across southwestern Anatolia. This connection is more than logistical. Both landscapes tell the same story of water, minerals, and time-shaping improbable beauty. Local guides share stories of ancient shepherds and Ottoman travelers who regarded the lake as both healing and holy. Today, scientists, photographers, and pilgrims walk the same paths, each seeking a different truth in the lake's luminous calm. At dusk, the silhouette of distant hills frames the water, and the white sands seem to glow from within as temperatures cool. Staying overnight near Salda lets you watch stars reflected in the glassy surface, a private ski mirrored twice. But the real secret is how fragile this planetary rarity is. The very minerals that make Salda extraordinary can be damaged by careless footprints and motorized accesses. Protecting it requires simple choices, designated paths, low-impact camping, and respect for local rules that keep the sands intact. Walk slowly, leave no trace, and you'll understand why scientists travel the world to stand on this lunar-like shore and study its whisper-quiet edges. Salda Lake is both a geological record and a living landscape, an intimate reminder of how rare Earth's white sands can be. Butterfly Valley in Morocco harbors one of the planet's rarest microhabitats, where seasonal updrafts and a unique mineral-rich spring concentrate tens of thousands of butterflies into narrow, shaded canyons. Do you know that the valley's microclimate allows species normally separated by hundreds of kilometers to coexist, and that some subspecies found here exist nowhere else on Earth? Walk into the valley, and the air feels alive with wings, each butterfly a living thread, weaving patterns across sunlit rocks. Locals map the migrations by the smell of the flowering shrubs and by the polished stones where butterflies cluster to drink. The canyon's red limestone narrows into pools fed by hidden springs, creating humid pockets that sustain larval host plants all year round. Scientists have recorded breeding cycles here that defy the usual North African rhythms, linking the valley to mountain ranges and coastal corridors far beyond its walls. From the valley floor, a narrow ridge points toward the ancient cedar groves of the High Atlas, and those groves in turn guide migrating species across Morocco's spine. This chain of habitats, ridges to groves to coastal dunes, reveals how a tiny gorge can thread into a continent-wide ecological network. Conservationists worry that changing rainfall patterns could sever these connections, making Butterfly Valley a fragile final refuge rather than a thriving crossroads. Local communities have responded by protecting springheads and planting native milkweeds, turning traditional knowledge into living conservation. You will hear elder storytellers describe harvests measured by butterfly seasons, and children identify species before they can read. Their customs, like the valley itself, tie human life to migration routes that have pulsed for millennia. Next, we'll follow one painted migrant across stone passes. Stay with us to see how Butterfly Valley connects Morocco's deserts, mountains, and coasts in ways you never expected and beyond. Munzur Valley cradles one of the planet's rare cold spring river systems, supporting an endemic trout found nowhere else. Do you know Munzur Valley is home to a surprisingly dense concentration of endemic alpine plants and herbal traditions passed down for centuries? The Munzur River threads like a silver seam through limestone gorges, carving terraces where villages have harvested medicine and food for generations. Its high pastures burst into color each spring, feeding the valley below and connecting mountain life to valley culture. Walk the riverbanks, and you meet elders who still name flowers no botanist has put on paper, and shepherds who time their migrations to rhythms older than maps. These human rituals are stitched directly to the valley's hydrology source, so one change in the snow line alters a way of life. Limestone cliffs keep secret caves where freshwater springs bubble up so pure they sustain rare aquatic insects and crustaceans found only in Munzur's cold pools. Those springs feed cascades that turn narrow ravines into living corridors for wildlife traveling between peaks and orchards. The landscape holds traces of ancient faiths and seasonal pilgrimages, with stone markers and small sanctuaries tucked into folds of the mountain. Spiritual practice here is inseparable from ecology. Reverence for water and plant life helped protect the valley long before formal conservation. Scientists who study Munzur speak quietly about its microclimates, pockets where flowers bloom out of season, and alpine meadows act like biological islands. Those islands sustain pollinators and birds that later travel to neighboring forests, linking Munzur to a much larger ecological web. Tonight, when you close your eyes, imagine a river that births its own trout species, meadows that hide plants no field guide lists, and communities that still read the seasons like a calendar. The valley's secrets are not just scenic, they are living systems that connect mountain, water, and human memory in ways few places on Earth do. Koprulu Canyon slices a 14-kilometer corridor through the Taurus Mountains, hosting one of the Mediterranean's rare riverine cedar refuges. Do you know Koprulu Canyon hides Roman and Seljuk stone bridges and rock-cut tombs tucked beneath its towering limestone walls? The canyon's river, fed by mountain springs, carves turquoise channels that have shaped human life here for millennia. Rafting companies now race its rapids, but far from the adrenaline, ancient shepherd trails reveal quieter layers of history. Olive groves and fragrant maquis cling to ledges, while rare cedar and fir stands survive in cool, sheltered ravines. Those microclimates nurture orchids and endemic insects not found along the nearby Mediterranean coast. Wild brown trout still leap in clear pools, where fishermen once relied on seasonal floods and traditional weirs. Birds of prey wheel above, Egyptian vultures, eagles, and peregrines that use the cliffs as hunting perches. Local villages carved from the same stone keep stories of ancient caravans and mountain sanctuaries passed down for generations. Strolling a narrow mule path here can lead to a ruined bridge that once connected traders to coastal ports. This living corridor links the highland pastures of the Taurus to the citrus-lined shores of Antalya and beyond. Follow its river downstream, and the landscape softens, folding the canyon's wildness into resort towns and archaeological sites. Conservationists now guard isolated pockets of habitat, balancing rafting tourism with habitat restoration and archaeological protection. Small community-led lodges have sprung up, offering local meals and guides who point out secret caves and medicinal plants. At dusk, the canyon's silhouette becomes a map of ancient roots, natural fortifications, and keystone human resilience. Its cliffs keep secrets, inscriptions, forgotten chapels, and stone markers that whisper of past emperors and pilgrim routes. Koprulu is not just a playground for adventurers. It's a living archive of geology, ecology, and human memory. As we leave its echoing walls, the canyon hands us toward sunlit shores and coastal ruins that tell the region's next chapter. Ölüdeniz's Blue Lagoon in Turkey is one of the planet's rare coastal lagoons. Fed by the sea, yet its waters remain mirror calm and impossibly turquoise. Do you know Ölüdeniz's Babadağ Ridge launches some of the most photographed paragliding flights on Earth, where jumpers glide down to land on the lagoon's soft sand? From the air, the coastline curves like a stroke of paint, revealing hidden coves and underwater caves shaped over millennia. Down on the pebble shore, all boats ferry visitors toward Butterfly Valley, a steep, fern-clad gorge that shelters rare species and seasonal swarms. Follow the coast east, and the lively hamlet of Ölüdeniz gives way to the ghostly stone houses of Kayaköy, an abandoned village frozen after early 20th century population shifts. Trails from Kayaköy climb toward ancient Lycian tombs perched above the water, silent sentinels of a maritime civilization that once linked these shores. Beneath the waves, snorkelers discover sculpted rock, colorful reefs, and the occasional slow silhouette of a sea turtle passing by. Fishermen still work the same currents that refill the lagoon, hauling in bluefish and octopus with techniques handed down through generations. At dusk, Ölüdeniz softens into pastels, and Babada cuts a dramatic skyline for photographers chasing light. Nearby, Fethiye offers a different rhythm. Market lanes thick with citrus and cease, and a harbor where taverns serve fresh-caught seafood. A short boat ride links these places, so a morning of paragliding can blend into an evening of stories and grilled fish by the water. Local guides will take you beyond the beaten path to secluded bays, where limestone arches frame tiny plunge pools, and to family farms pressing olive oil the old way. When you leave the lagoon, the memory lingers, not just photographs of turquoise water, but the wind over Babada, the taste of lemon on the fish, and the sense that Ölüdeniz threads mountain, sky, and sea into one unforgettable coastline. In the Kaçkar Mountains, ancient glaciers have carved bowl shapes that shelter cloud forests and endemic flora, a rare collision of humid Black Sea weather and high alpine terrain. Do you know the Kaçkar Mountains hold tiny permanent ice fields and unique rhododendron carpets that bloom above 3,000 meters? Places where subtropical mists meet snowfields. High, stony ridgelines drop into emerald valleys, where shepherd paths have threaded for millennia, linking isolated hamlets to seasonal pastures. These same trails lead to hidden glacial lakes that mirror jagged peaks and host trout species found nowhere else in the region. Local communities still practice transhumance, moving their flocks with the calendar of blooms and meltwater, preserving stone pens and oral maps passed down generations. At dusk, smoke from wood stoves and the call of livestock stitch human rhythm into a landscape that seems frozen in an older time. From the lower beech forests, the land climbs through meadows layered with alpine orchids, then into rocky summits, where wind-carved lichens signpost elevation. Rivers born in the Kaçkars cut deep gorges that feed fertile plains and, further downstream, knit connections to bustling coastal towns and old trading routes. Hikers who follow the narrow passes find abandoned Greek and Laz stone houses, silent witnesses to migrations and the shifting borders of history. Those ruins link the mountains to crowded harbors of the Black Sea, reminding us that these high places shaped cultures as surely as valleys did. Mountaineers chase the dawn along serrated ridges to witness the sunrise spill across moss and scree, a light that reveals unexpected pockets of biodiversity. Scientists have cataloged endemic butterflies and alpine plants here that survive only in these microclimates, making conservation critical. In spring, avalanches give way to cascades that turn every ravine into a temporary river, recharging groundwater and ancient irrigation channels. Those waters sustain terraced fields and tea gardens lower down, binding mountain hydrology to the livelihoods of entire regions. To stand beneath a Kaçkar summit is to feel a living map. Geology, weather, and human history geared like the rings of a tree. And as paths fold into one another, the Kaçkar Mountains reveal themselves not as a remote oddity, but as a crossroads where nature and culture converge. Every fold of rock carries a story of glacial retreat, resilient traditions, and a species that refuse to vanish quietly. Follow those stories, and the Kaçkars will lead you onward, connecting to valleys, villages, and coasts in a chain of surprising, stubborn life. Pamukkale's cotton-white terraces, sculpted by centuries of calcium-rich thermal springs, create one of the planet's most singular and luminous landscapes. Do you know that the name Pamukkale literally means cotton castle, and that its cascading travertine pools have been building layer by layer since the last ice age, creating formations rarely found at this scale? Stepping onto the rim of a travertine basin feels like crossing into a slow-motion sculpture, where mineral-laden water sculpts soft curves and shallow basins that catch the sky. Ancient Hierapolis, the ruined Roman spa city perched above the white fields, turned these springs into sanctuaries of healing more than 2,000 years ago. Walk barefoot along the calcium shelves, and you can literally feel layers of history beneath your feet, thin crusts forming over footprints left by centuries of visitors. Bathers in antiquity sought relief here for ailments and injuries, and the tradition persists in modern thermal pools that mirror those old rituals. Pamukkale's wonder lies as much in its ongoing chemistry as in its appearance. Dissolved minerals constantly precipitate out of warm spring water, cementing new terraces and slowly reshaping the hillside. That delicate growth was nearly lost to ill-timed development in the 20th century until conservation measures restored water flow and prohibited footwear to protect the fragile surfaces. From above, the terraces spill like frozen molten milk across the slope, and the juxtaposition with fallen columns and sarcophagi makes the scene oddly theatrical. As the sun travels, the scales shifting light and water depth turn pools from pale turquoise to cobalt. So every hour feels like a different painter's canvas. Local tales stitched together, geology and human memory. Roman soldiers, Byzantine pilgrims, and Ottoman travelers all left traces in these thermal stones, so the place reads as both natural archive and cultural shrine. This fusion of story and stone makes Pamukkale a rare place where the earth's slow craftsmanship and human practices are inseparable. Leaving Pamukkale, you carry an image of liquid limestone frozen mid-flow, a white architecture of water that seems to defy time. And you'll notice hints of this crystalline sensibility reappearing as we move on to the next landscape. The journey continues, and Pamukkale's quiet, luminous testimony will echo in the textures and tales that lie ahead. Dalyan River is one of the world's very few remaining tidal lagoon systems, where endangered loggerhead turtles nest beside ancient Lycian rock tombs. Do you know Dalyan River's shifting sandbar, Uzungöl Beach, regenerates each year and acts like a living barrier that protects caretta nests from the sea? Along the river's reed-lined channels, traditional wooden boats called kaikos ferry villagers between thermal mud baths and the archaeological ruins of Kaunos. Do you know the faces carved into the Kaunos cliff domes peer down over a landscape shaped by both sea and freshwater, a rare confluence that sustained civilizations for millennia? Where the Dalyan meets Salda Lake, fresh water mixes with the Mediterranean, creating nutrient-rich waters that support migratory birds and a unique mosaic of wetland flora. Do you know, conservation efforts in this region have turned Uzungöl into one of the Mediterranean's most successful turtle protection stories, blending local tradition with strict nesting season controls. Local fishermen still read the river's moods, timing their harvests to tidal pulses that subtly alter channels and banks overnight. Do you know guided trips here often pause for visitors to coat themselves in therapeutic mineral mud, reputed to ease joint pain, a practice unchanged since ancient times? At dusk, flamingos and herons lace the horizon, and the sunset light strips the lichen tombs down to their carved details. Do you know the river's braided waterways once formed the harbor approaches for Kaunos, linking inland trade routes to the Mediterranean world? Today, conservationists, villagers, and tourists form an unlikely partnership that balances livelihoods with habitat protection along Dalyan's banks. Do you know small-scale dune restoration and seasonal beach closures have measurably increased hatchling survival rates on Uzungöl in recent decades? Walks from the river mouth to the ancient ruins reveal layers of history, from Lycian inscriptions to Ottoman fishing cabins, each connected by the river's steady flow. Do you know that echoing between reeds, you can still hear old sea songs passed down by families who navigated these waters for generations? Researchers monitoring sea turtles and water quality use Dalyan as a model for integrated coastal management across the Mediterranean. Do you know visitor programs here let you adopt a nest and follow its progress, turning concern into measurable support for conservation? By night, the river becomes a dark ribbon, and the distant hum of the town blends with frogs and the rush of reeds, reminding you that this landscape lives as much as it remembers. Do you know that preserving Dalyan's delicate balance is now seen as vital, not only for Turkey, but for global efforts to save coastal biodiversity? From the wind-sculpted ridges of the Atlas Mountains to the luminous sweep of Erg Chebi's dunes, this land folds surprises into every horizon. Along the way, you'll meet blue-washed alleys, olive-terraced waterfalls, and kasbahs of sun-baked clay that read like living history. You'll learn why goats climb argan trees and how buried seas left fossil beds beneath desert sands. You'll stand beneath night skies so thick with stars that the Milky Way feels within reach. Cities shift like scenes in a play. Fafes's labyrinths, Marrakesh's market theater, and Essaouira's windswept ramparts whispering different stories. Between them, hidden valleys and gorges connect mountain paths to desert trade routes, stitching nature to culture. What looks like a final image, a caravan cresting a dune, a riad's tiled courtyard, a fisherman's net on the Atlantic, is often just the beginning of another secret waiting to be followed. If you leave with one memory, let it be that Morocco rewards curiosity. The smaller the question you ask, the stranger the answer you will find. Carry this curiosity home, and you will find these places growing inside you, landing like bookmarks on the map of your life. There are still ruins unread, rivers that sing differently at dawn, and recipes kept by hands who have tended them for centuries, all of them waiting for the next set of footprints to connect one wonder to the next.